From Rock Hill High School, this is the Hawk Talk, bringing you the energy, emotion, and stories behind every sport that makes our school fly higher. I'm your host, Chris Scamardo. Today, we're recapping a record-setting football season, breaking down the first look at Blue Hawk basketball, stepping inside the girls' wrestling room to see how their success grows, and highlighting a freshman who just broke school record. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off on the football field. Last Friday, our Blue Hawks took on Denton Geyer in their first playoff appearance of the season. The final score was 40-0, but even in a tough loss, there are bright spots to talk about throughout the season, and a big highlight came from quarterback Nate Vincent. In his first year starting varsity, he tied the Rock Hill's single-game passing touchdown record, 5 touchdowns in one night. That is a record that has been untouched since 2021 when Brenner Cox set it. So I went down to the field to ask Nate what that moment meant to him, the emotions, the pressure, and what it feels like to cement himself in Rock Hill history, and this is what he had to say.
Before the season, I really just set a bunch of goals. Obviously I wanted to come here and break a lot of records that were set, and doing that, it just gave me like a little satisfaction that I was good enough to be like a quarterback at Rock Hill.
Now with Nate Vincent graduating this year, it's looking like Austin Ferris is going to be the one to take his place. Now, it's some pretty big shoes to fill. Last year, Christian Lewis made the playoffs for the first time with the Blue Hawks. This past year, Nate Vincent did it the second time, and now it's up to Austin Ferris to see what he can do if he can keep the Rock Hill playoff streak alive. Now moving on to new headlines, receiver Bryce Allen has been the talk of the town. In that final regular season game against McKinney, he hauled in 4 of those 5 touchdown passes that Nate Vincent threw in the first half. Now that is truly a legacy game to go with a legacy season. Now with offers rolling in everywhere, Bryce Allen is officially committed to the University of Richmond to become a Spider and take the next step in his football career. So I talked to Bryce to get the inside scoop of the emotions behind a season like this and to get the pressure, the attention, and what it means to get all of his hard work paid off.
There's definitely a lot of emotions that come with, just being able to, gain offers and then ultimately end up committing. And this entire time has been a great experience, just being able to express myself in different ways, with coaches, the hard work that me personally that I've put in, it's just a great feeling of just like my hard work being noticed.
Now, the playoffs might have not ended the way Rock Hill had hoped, but that doesn't take away from what the season really held. It was a year for some new records, some new leaders, and some moments that will stick with our Blue Hawks for a long time. Now, moving indoors, our basketball team tipped off their first game of the season last Friday night. Now, last year, our team was senior heavy. It had a lot of veteran experience, which means this year we have a new lineup to cheer on. So I caught up with Bryce May, one of those players that have now been in a bigger position, to talk about the transition and to talk about that preparation for the offseason and what the team expects from themselves this year.
I have to set a good example for the younger players and JV and freshmen and all that. We've been doing a lot of shooting and a lot of conditioning, so we'll be in shape for the whole season. We're going to run about the gym. We're just looking forward to playing better as a team and, just winning overall.
And that's just one of the guys stepping up as Rock Hill builds a totally new varsity identity this year. They don't play their first district game until December 9th against Plano West, but until then, you can buy tickets this Thursday to attend a non-district game, which will be Salina at Rock Hill. Tickets will be $5, and you will miss your second and third period, but it is a great way to get some insight on our team. Now with the boys just getting into their season, the girls have already played 6 of their games, starting up with an electrifying record of 5-1. Last week against Heritage High School, junior Sophia Reed ended with a double-double and a team high of 30 points, while junior Addie Johnson shot 4 from 6 from the field and 10 points. With a team of younger athletes, the girls have a lot of time to grow and attempt to find their spot in the postseason. If we look at last year, they finished with a district record of 9-8. Now, that barely cut them off. They finished 5th in districts, missing out on playoffs. But with the success they've had this year, finding their spot in the postseason might be on the horizon. Now moving on to the mats, when it comes to wrestling at Rock Hill, the tradition runs deep. Just last season, the girls team coached Hayden Stein, a graduated 2-time state champion in her weight class. But this year's girls team continues to dominate with multiple state-ranked athletes leading the way. Among them is senior Lillian Jukes, currently ranked 7th in Texas in her weight class. And for her, wrestling isn't just a sport, it's a family practice. I spoke to her about her achievements and what it means to play for more than just her name.
I'm a 3-time state qualifier, and I am close to my 100 wins. It's pretty cool because I grew up watching my siblings wrestle and being able to wrestle alongside them. So being able to come into high school already having their name on my back was an amazing experience. It really pushed me to be where I am today, and it makes me as good as an athlete as I am because I had such amazing role models growing up.
With her older brother Xavier Jukes and her older sister Eleanor Jukes, they have kept their family name known in the wrestling world. Now, I went down to the wrestling hallway to get a first-hand look at the girls' success this season, but I ended up seeing something I wasn't expecting. Before practice even started, wrestlers were standing up and sharing their responses to a journal prompt, talking openly about their goals, their challenges, and how they're growing as athletes. This was a quick moment I heard while I was in the room.
So first, I liked the book that said their opinions had zero influence on the outcome unless you choose to listen to them. And I said that I think I can look criticism or negativity from the sidelines pretty well. Just because everyone has an opinion doesn't mean they're always true.
So to understand why the team does this exercise, I spoke to head girls coach Courtney Livingston.
So we're doing a book study over a book called Compete Every Day. And so twice a week, they have prompts from the section that I put on them. So I do a PDF of the pages they're supposed to read, and then I ask questions based off of that section, and they journal and I check it, and it's a grade. It builds the team dynamic just a lot, especially when they see people sharing. They might hear that they put the same thing down. So that builds that community and that unity of oh, I wrote the same thing, or I thought the same way. But even then, if they're sharing something and they didn't, they're at least gaining that person's perspective. So it helps just build the team dynamics overall, but it mostly helps with their mindset, because it's trying to show them that competing is a part of their life even once they're not a competitor anymore, because the whole premise of the book is how to compete in life using athletics as that springboard. And so it's just tying it in and trying to make them better people overall.
And when you look at things like this journaling work, it makes a lot of sense why the girls program has been so consistently competitive. Now shifting into the waters, one of the biggest individual performances this week came from freshman swimmer Bailey Helt. She broke the school record in the 100 fly, and I brought her in studio to walk us through her mindset throughout the race. Bailey, first off, congratulations. Can you take us back to the moment before the race? What was going through your head before you took off the blocks?
I was actually pretty calm because it's one of my favorite races and I've done it hundreds of times, so I knew what I was doing and I was just going to have fun with it.
Did you feel any difference between that race compared to a normal race?
It felt a lot smoother. I felt like I had a lot of energy. And it just felt perfectly executed.
Yeah, and whenever you got out of that water and you realized that you broke a record, as a freshman, what excitement does that give you, being able to make a statement at just such a young age?
It was really exciting. I actually didn't know I broke it until a minute after the race because I couldn't see the scoreboard well enough to see what my time was. So my friends ran over and told me I got it, so we celebrated behind the blocks.
Yeah, and how does that change things for the rest of the season when it comes to confidence or goals? What does that give you?
I feel like it gave me a lot more confidence. And now I just want to break as many as I can and just see what I can do this season.
Well, thank you so much, Bailey. I appreciate that. And again, congratulations so much on that great feat. Unfortunately, I couldn't get an interview with swim and dive head coach Lauren Steinhaus, but I was able to get a statement from her about Bailey's accomplishments. She said, Bailey's an excellent swimmer who not only has natural talent, but who also shows up every day to work hard in the pool and in the weight room. Breaking the 100 fly record as a freshman is just the start for her. She's going to continue to shine in all of her other swimming events as well. We are so proud of Bailey and all that she represents when it comes to her hard work ethic, her team spirit, her perseverance, and her grit. So from football setting new records, to basketball reshaping its roster, to wrestling strengthening their chemistry through journaling, and a freshman swimmer who's already rewriting history. It's been a game-changing week for Rock Hill Athletics. I'm Scamardo for Hawk Talk, and this has been your Blue Hawk Sports Update. Thank you for listening.